Subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Guiding Light, to enjoy and grow your faith in Islam. Subscribe, like, share, and also comment. Hit the notification bell beside the subscribe button so you get notified once we drop a new video. Thank you.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You're welcome to today's episode of The Guiding Light. Today, inshallah ta'ala, we're going to look at the essence of Ramadan, and that's chapter 2, verse 183 will be our focus. Subhanallah, how was your last year's Ramadan? What did you do? What did you set out to achieve? Did you achieve it? Did you tick all the boxes? If not, what have you done any reflections since then? If not, why not? Inshallah ta'ala, hopefully today's topic would help you get in that space where you need to be. Ustaz Ismail, Zakariya, Fagbo will do justice to this on the other side of this break. Stay with us. You're welcome back. If you're just joining us, it is The Guiding Light. And today on the show, we're going to be looking at the essence of Ramadan. That month, Ramadan, the activities called Ramadan, subhanAllah, everything, all encompassing. Chapter 2, verse 183 fully encapsulates this. And Ustaz is ready to delve in. Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh, sir.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Brothers and sisters in Islam and viewers at home.
Alhamdulillah, we're looking at the essence of Ramadan fast. I mean, there are other supplementary fasts that we do, other recommended fasts, but today we're focusing on the month of Ramadan, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah, Ramadan is the third pillar of Islam.
Yeah.
The Prophet ﷺ always prepared for Ramadan, particularly also the companions always prepare for Ramadan. For instance, after Ramadan, there is a prayer that says, Allahumma ballighna Ramadan.
No.
Allahumma ballighna Ramadan. They keep saying that. What it means is that, oh Allah, let us meet Ramadan. Oh Allah, let us meet Ramadan. They prepare for Ramadan like somebody is preparing for an head of state. Because Ramadan is a farm of harvest. They're going to plant. And so if they are prepared for it, it is the time of the Qur'an. It is the time of generosity. It's the time of togetherness. It's the time of humility. And it's the time when the shaitan is in lock. So Muslims, from the time of the Prophet till now, always like to prepare for Ramadan. Some of our wealthy brothers, those who Allah has blessed, and Allah has not only blessed them in wealth, property, and money, but Allah has also blessed them in understanding and love for the deen. What some of them do is that they now program Ramadan to be a time where they do their zakat. Why do they do this? They do this because
Zakat is a compulsory charity.
Zakat is a compulsory charity. Apart from that, Ramadan, the reward in Ramadan is in multiple fold. Allah in an hadith Qudsi. What is an hadith Qudsi is a saying of the Prophet that Allah himself, without an intermediary, talked to the Prophet, and the Prophet himself is reporting Allah. It's almost close to the Quran, but it's not. Allah now told the Prophet, Siyamu ar-Ramadan li wa ana alladhi ajzi biha. He says, Ramadan is for me. What he means is that, and I am the one who will give reward for it. Other reward, we have an approximate amount of, if you are sincere, if you have approximate amount, what kind of what kind of reward Allah will give you for it. But Ramadan, we don't, because it's multiple. And part of the blessings of Ramadan is that there's a door in paradise that is called Babu Riyan, yes, that it is only those who want to fast, those who love fasting, to be prepared for them, they'll pass through that gate. So may Allah make it easy for us, and may Allah reward us with that.
We'll go on a quick break. When we come back, inshallah, our conversation continues. Stay with us. You're welcome back. If you're just joining us, it is the Guiding Light. We are looking at the essence of Ramadan and focusing on chapter 2, verse 183. Speaking of the essence of Ramadan, how should we know how our pious predecessors prepared for Ramadan? What's in our time now? How should we prepare? What are the things that, for a lot of people, a checklist? What are those things how do we prepare? How do we get ourselves ready to enjoy the essence of this month of Ramadan?
Well, the best way to prepare Ramadan is to first, from a psychological point of view, you always keep it in your psychic that Ramadan is coming, and you have it and an exalted belief that this month is coming. Then once you're prepared for him from a psychological point of view, you'll be able to practice it in a spiritual point of view, a physical point of view, and an economic point of view. Okay. For instance, even if you're poor, you may, for instance, I had the privilege of studying in Sudan, and I remember that even that's like almost 25 or 30 years ago right now. So I noticed that even as poor, the situation was tough then. As poor as the Sudanese, they have a budget for Ramadan. They save money. It's just like our local people here, they save money for Ashwebi and all this Owambe, stuff like that. But the Sudanese will save money for these because they don't want to eat. They don't want to eat Ramadan alone. They want people to come to feast with them. You see a Sudanese person going on the street, say, billah, ya akhi, tafaddal, ta'kul ma'i, tata'asha ma'i. Always say, what it means is that, oh, my brother, please come and eat with me. Because he knows that the reward of somebody breaking the fast with you is multiple fold. Another good example is in Saudi Arabia, it's the same thing, even probably better. People will start, particularly when we're students there, people will start to look for students they don't know where they are, because they know that this month is a month of reward. A reward of, if you go to Haram, Mecca or Medina, you can practice Ramadan without spending an halal. That is the kobo of Saudi Arabia. You can't spend 1 kobo. People will feed you because everybody is looking for what? The barakah. Because this is the month of barakah. So people are looking. So a Muslim will prepare himself. Now you prepare, like I said, you prepare yourself psychologically. You prepare. For instance, Imam Malik, when is the time for the Imam in Medina? When it's time for Ramadan, it will close all shop. What I mean is that is attending students in other sciences of Islam, he leaves it alone. What he does now is the month of Qur'an. He reads the Qur'an. He spends a lot of time to read the Qur'an. And even outside Ramadan, an average Muslim should read the Qur'an, all Qur'an in 1 month. An average, the least.
So Imam, I know you're explaining the essence, but as you talked, because especially when you mentioned that in the beginning when you said it's one of the benefits of the month is that shaitans are chained down, lockdown. So if truly all the shaitans are chained, how are we able to still commit crimes and sins? That thought always comes to my mind. So just when you finish with the other essence, because it's all about preparation, psychologically, financially, and all of that, and then just this keeps bothering me.
No, inshallah, the shaitan, the devil is chained, and I'll give you an experience. It doesn't mean that there will be absolute absence of sin. Okay. No, it doesn't mean that.
Okay.
But what it means is that it will be at a very reduced rate.
Okay.
Now, with all due respect, I come from this environment, Yoruba land, Nigeria, and I love it. It's not anywhere close to Islam. And I've lived in an environment for some years that is Islamic, the culture and everything. But during Ramadan, it's very peaceful. It's very calm. Lagos is an Onwambe social place, but during Ramadan, you know that
It's calmer.
It's calmer, it's cool. So that's an evidence. But one or two people will sin, even in Islamic countries, because one, committing sins also may not even be part of. It may not be necessarily be because of shaitan, more because the soul itself commits certain things that is not even influenced by shaitan. So there will be some strokes of sins, but the consciousness in Ramadan is high. You see a lot of people that you don't even know that they are Muslims. They come to mosque. It's not only in Nigeria. The mosque is full, filled everywhere. So in Nigeria, I don't know this person. Ramadan is costed, so you make them come to the mosque, and that's the time that we should use it to enhance people's knowledge and things like that. So the shaitan is reduced to the barest minimum.
So it's our internal, what we, the personal struggles of our nerves that manifest
sometimes
in small sins. All right. So, but you're telling us about how to prepare psychologically, financially, and you even give an example of a place. Who can fast or who cannot fast? Who are those that are exempted? Is it okay that I say, oh, I feel weak and tired and I think I shouldn't fast because I'll struggle, or my work is intense on a normal day? I'm a medical doctor and I'm going to be in the surgery for a better part of the day for hours on end, and I'll be standing and it will make me weak if I fast. So can I stay off fasting? Who are the people that Allah has exempted or given a soft landing with respect to fasting?
No, the person who is surpassed is a Muslim male or female who is an adult. It's compulsory for that person to fast. The female may not fast at a certain part because of certain excuses. But the people who are exempted for fasting are old people who are weak and they cannot fast. People that are sick. The sickness has to be something that is severe, or the illness that is severe, which means that if the person fasts, it may not allow the sickness to go. But somebody has mere headache or sneezing, that is not something so serious. Someone should still fast. But somebody has maybe like ulcer or things like that, you are exempted from fasting. But if you do not fast, you have to make an atonement through another channel.
And this atonement is, how do you atone? How do you make up for it?
You feed a fasting person, or you free a slave.
We'll go on a quick break. When we come back, inshallah, our conversation continues. Stay with us. You're welcome back. If you're just joining us, it is The Guiding Light. We are looking at the essence of Ramadan and focusing on chapter 2, verse 183. So this feeding the fasting person, do you determine, okay, so subhanAllah, do you feed the person according to your own tastes in terms of how you will feed normally? Or, so for example, if I were to eat, not me as Amina Adams, but if I had, I was going to eat a plate of food, it would be 7,000 or 8,000 naira. Must I feed the person at that, or I can look for someone that will feed her at 1K? And how do you decide how to feed the person?
What matters?
Do you make food and give, or make means available?
You can give the person money. You can give the person food. What it requires is that you should just feed him. What will make him, will be able to sustain him, maybe to sustain the person, he or her.
Okay.
I think.
And so it's for the ones that are, so the scenarios that I painted, can I just, because I feel weak and I honestly feel weak, I honestly cannot fast?
It depends. If your feeling weak will lead to a bigger sickness, maybe bigger sickness, or lead to death, or cause some other catastrophe, then you don't fast.
Okay. Pregnant women, what is their situation with respect to fasting?
If the fasting will affect the baby in the womb, she should not fast.
How would you know if it will affect your baby?
She would know Oh, okay. The doctor might tell her.
Okay.
Then she also will feel it. She will know.
Okay.
If it will affect her, if it's going to affect her or the baby, then she should not fast.
No.
But if she's okay with it, some ladies do that. If she's okay with it, then there's no problem.
And so, how do you know what will break your fast? For example, what can nullify your fast? What kind of things would you do? What errors would you commit that would nullify your fast? And if you do nullify your fast, how do you make up for it?
The number one thing that will nullify a fast is that for one to have sexual intercourse during the day.
No.
That is the number one thing that will break a fast. Then number two thing is to eat or to drink consciously. If you do it consciously, that will break your fast. Then the other one is to do cubbing. That you take blood out hijama. You take that will break the fast.
But there's dry one. So if you do a dry one, does that still break your fast? I understand there's one that they don't expel the blood.
As long as the blood doesn't come out, there's
okay. Now, so so when you've consciously broken the fast, how do you make up for it? So for the one who committed had sexual intercourse in the course of the day, how do you repay?
Yes, that's the most severe one. The person that has sexual intercourse, either has sexual intercourse, will have to either free a slave, if you can, but that is no longer available, or fast for 60 days.
60 days.
2 months, rather.
I can take 5 days today, take 10,
and
spread it out. It doesn't have to be consecutive. No. Subhanallah. Mashallah, tabarakallah. So, and all of this, what is the ultimate crown that you get? What are you looking to get from fasting? What's the reward from all of this stressing and straining?
Fasting makes you close to Allah. Fasting improves your station in front of Allah. Because the ayah says, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, so that you can fear Allah. So number one thing you gain is piety, because the objective is to make you close to Allah. And you get close to Allah by following His dictates. Nobody knows whether you're actually fasting or not. It's between you and Allah. Nobody knows. People see you praying. People see you going to mosques, they can testify, but nobody is a claim. Nobody will know whether you're fasting or not. It's between you and Allah. Nobody knows. So you are doing it for the sake of Allah. So the more you now get closer, because, for instance, when a person is fasting, he knows that these things and that thing are haram. Even before Ramadan, but he's more conscious about it. He's more conscious. The Prophet told us that if somebody confronts you, want to provoke you, say, no, look, I'm fasting. You keep away from him or her. You avoid conflicts and things like that. Why are you doing that? Fear of Allah. Because the objective to fear Allah means that you are following an ordinance, a command. You're submitting yourself to a command. That is what being a Muslim is all about. Yeah. Submitting to the will of Allah. You're surrendering. That's what being a slave is all about. The master is giving you a command. The master is giving you a command and says, okay, fine. Nobody knows about it. You can be in your house and decide to take everything. No, fast here. You come out and nobody knows about it. But you're cautious, this is not good. You're in the fast. And all the other things that Ramadan encourages, you go to the mosque, you go for tafsir, you read the Qur'an. These things bring you closer to Allah. You see, Ramadan is like a training ground, a school. You now reach a certain degree in your iman, in your faith. It has raised up. So you have taken yourself to another level when you get to Ramadan. You now look back at the last Ramadan and say, oh, last Ramadan, I read the Quran about 3 times. This Ramadan, I'm going to read it 5 times. Or you can now compete with your wife or your co-wives or your friends and say, those guys, they read the Quran 7 times. I'm going to read it 8 times, 9 times. This is competition. It's just what they call it. You compete. But this is an healthy competition because you know that, yes, I will read this or I will do this sadaqah. Those of you in one community, you make sure that you do a program that all the poor people come together, you feed them, you clothe them, because you're looking for the mercy, the reward of Allah. This is what Ramadan does. Ramadan gets you very close to Allah.
Alhamdulillah, Jazakumullah khairan. May Allah accept this from us as ibadah, grant us a fast that is accepted by Him, and make it way heavy on our scales of good deeds. Dear viewers, we thank Almighty Allah for giving us the opportunity of watching today's episode of The Guiding Light and learning about the teachings of Islam, the religion chosen by Allah for mankind. For our dear viewers who are Muslims, I hope and pray that today's episode has inspired and strengthened you in faith to be more God-fearing and caring Muslims. For our dear viewers who are not Muslims, I wish to use this opportunity to invite you to accept and practice the teachings of Islam, that you may attain salvation, as did all the prophets of Allah, including Adam, Abraham, Moses, Jesus, Muhammad. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon them all. To become a Muslim, you must renounce all other deities, human and non-human, and believe and worship the one and only God, Allah. I hereby invite you to say and pray with me as follows. O Allah, I believe and testify that you are the one and only God, and Muhammad is your messenger. O Allah, I believe and testify that you are one God, not two, not three, or more gods. O Allah, I believe and testify that no one else deserves to be worshipped except you. You are alone in your sovereignty, and you share your sovereignty with no one. O Allah, I believe and testify that you have no father, no mother, no son, no daughter, and no partner whatsoever. O Allah, I accept and believe in you as my one and only Lord. I pray for forgiveness of my sins and solemnly pledge to abide by the teachings of Islam and do good deeds all the days of my life. O Allah, I pray that you have mercy on me, guide me aright, and make me successful in this world and in the hereafter. Ameen. May Allah bless and favor you with His grace and bounties as you accept and practice the teachings of Islam. You're welcome back. We are at the tail end of today's program. Subhanallah, we looked at chapter 2 of the Noble Quran, verse 183. Please take time out to reflect on it. We looked at the essence of Ramadan. We'll see you same time next week, bismillah, with another beautiful package of The Guiding Light. Until then, stay blessed.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Guiding Light, to enjoy and grow your faith in Islam. Subscribe, like, share, and also comment. Hit the notification bell beside the subscribe button so you get notified once we drop a new video. Thank you.